We go to the bottom of the 6th. Lawrence with an 8-6 lead. And Steve, the first 3-up, 3-down inning right there for Jerome Reed, and he got him in rapid succession, and that's got to make him feel pretty good.
Well, Jerome, after loading the bases on walks in the 5th inning, came back, got a pop-up to the second baseman, a pop-up to the third baseman, and a little flare out there to first baseman Reed Edwards. So Jerome has settled down. He's getting the job done, and the Raiders are 3 outs away from tying up this series.
And if I'm correct, he only threw 6 pitches that inning.
I believe you're right.
8-6 our score. Lawrence on top as we go to the bottom of the 6th. And again, if the Raiders hang on to this lead in the top of the 7th, we'll be back here on Friday night, and we will be playing one game for all the marbles, the state championship. It would be at 7:30 right here on this field. Tonight's paid attendance, 1,583. And we'd love to have even more than that out here on Friday night. And it is just a great crowd here tonight. To any of you out here with your radios on, thanks for coming. And the rest of you, come on out Friday and bring those radios along. Hegler fires to Cunningham. It's a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Chuck having a good night for the Raiders. 2 for 3, triple, a single, and 2 RBIs.
The 0-1 delivery on the way. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Here's the wind. The 0-2 pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just underway in the bottom of the 6th. The Raiders with a 2-run lead, 8-6. Hegler's 1-2 delivery misses, 2-2. Well, this team's showing a lot of guts tonight. One, to come back from the rough outing they had and get off to a great start here tonight. Then to see that lead fizzle away and come back and retake the lead. 2-2 count on Chuck Cunningham. Here's the wind, the delivery. Hit hard and high out into left field. That one is going. It is gone. It's 9-6. I thought that was going to be a routine pop-up, Steve, and it just kept going.
One thing about Chuck Cunningham that makes him such a dangerous hitter is that he has power to all fields. Chuck really during the playoffs, with the exception of a single earlier in the ball game, has really gone to left field. Pitchers have been trying to keep him outside, and he's got great power to the left side as he just showed right there.
9-6 Raiders. Chuck Cunningham with a home run, the second of the series for Lawrence. Jerome Reed hit the one down in Lancaster the other night in the 4th inning. This one coming here in the 6th and giving the Raiders a little insurance to make it 9-6. Tell you though, the way this Lancaster team hits the ball, I wouldn't feel safe with 10.
I'll tell you what, they've got 3 more outs to get out there against Lancaster, and Jerome Reed's doing a heck of a job, but you can never count these Bruins out.
Mike Douglas will step to the plate. Douglas, right-hander, stepping in there against Hegler. Pitch hit hard and deep to right field, but I believe they'll have a play. Curidan goes back and grabs it right in front of the fence, and we have one down.
Well, Douglas sent Curidan all the way back to the warning track on that one. Raiders flirting with back-to-back homers, and they're certainly hitting Hegler hard here in the bottom of the 6th.
Coach Al Berry hoping he can survive this one with no further damage and then try and get even in the top of the 7th. Of course, it's not do or die for the Bruins. They're either going to go home state champions or one game away from it. The Raiders have no tomorrow. They've got to win tonight. That one's outside to Reed, 1-0.
Now Reed Edwards 0 for 2 in this ball game, but he's driven in runs with his grounder in the 1st inning and a sacrifice fly in the 2nd.
1-0 the count to Edwards. With one down here in the 6th. The pitch misses low. 2-0. What a couple of weeks of highs here for Reed Edwards. Possibly winning a state championship this week, and then in a couple of weeks delivering the valedictorian speech at graduation. 2-0 the count. Misses 3-0. Reed not only respected for his baseball, but his academics as well by colleges.
Yes, indeed. And Reed's one of those young men. He came over from Clinton High School, and he really gave that program a boost, and that program taught him a lot in his first couple of years of baseball. He's been a solid player for the Raiders.
3-0 pitch. Oh, Reed was ready to head down to first base, and it's a called strike. 3-1.
Coach Bill Rhodes was very complimentary about Reed Edwards in his freshman year. Reed's family moved to Lawrence. He came over and brought a lot of talent to the Raider baseball team.
3-1 pitch is inside, ball 4. Reed's folks are also the nicest folks you'd ever want to meet. Reed down at first, and here comes Al Berry, and that may be all for Hegler. He may not let it go any further. Charles Peterson ready to come to the plate with bat in hand, and let's see what Al Berry's move is here for Lancaster. Raiders 9, the Bruins 6. Raiders led it by 2 coming into this inning, and Chuck Cunningham hit one to the opposite field. Both Raider home runs in the series have been to the opposite field, and gave the Raiders a 3-run lead. And it will not be a pitching change, just a pep talk and a short one from Al Berry. And Hegler will stay on the mound. 3-run lead for Lawrence. And Jerome Reed and Anthony Brown playing catch over there, just keeping Jerome limbered up for the bottom half of the inning. On the top of the 7th.
I believe Lancaster coach Al Berry going out and telling Hegler, don't bother with the walks, go out and get them. You've got the defense behind you. We need to hold this lead to 3 runs right now because we can't afford it anymore.
Charles Peterson, the batter. Charles has a little power. He hit one to end the game against Malden early in the playoffs. Ball gets away from the catcher. Reed, it pops loose, and down to second base goes Reed Edwards.
Well, you talk about your tough nights on the mound. Hegler hasn't given up a lot of hits. He's only given up 3 hits now and 3+ innings of work, but 5 wild pitches. So he has really given Robbie Reed a workout behind the plate.
And before that, Barnes kept him hopping pretty much too. Well, I'll tell you, Lancaster looked invincible Monday night, and they've proven anything but tonight. And we're going to have a re-switch here, Steve. John Barnes is coming back to the mound to try and finish it up. He started, and he's coming back to the mound. While he warms up, we're going to pause again. In the bottom of the 6th, it's Lawrence 9, Lancaster 6, back in 90 seconds. Back at the stadium in a rarity, a pitcher that has reappearing in a ball game. John Barnes, who started tonight for Lancaster, was lifted in favor of Hegler, is back.
Well, Barnes went only 1 1/3 innings in this ball game. He gave up 6 runs, all of which were earned. Really, he was taken away from the decision when the Bruins came back and tied up the ball game. The loss, if the Bruins do lose this game, will go to Hegler. But Barnes in there, he's trying to stem the tide right here in the bottom of the 6th. Raiders threatening with Reed Edwards on second base and 1 out.
Chuck Cunningham, as we mentioned, is already homered in this inning to lengthen the Raiders lead to 3. It's a 9-6 ball game. Peterson steps in there. Be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Lancaster in the 7th. The wind, the delivery. It's a ball. 2-0. Reed Edwards down at second. Not a big threat to move over to third, but if they make a mistake, he will.
And Lancaster, 5 wild pitches tonight. They've hit a batter, 8 walks. You're not going to win many ball games when you have pitching stats like that.
2-0 delivery. swing and a miss. 2-1. But if we make it to Friday night, I don't expect anything like this. But I can tell you, after watching the Raiders play tonight, I don't think Pep Harris can repeat his performance.
I totally agree with you. Mark Lambert, he's going to be fired up at home if indeed we do have a game Friday night.
Swing and a miss by Peterson, 2-2.
And I think Mark Lambert might be a little fired up by that 19 strikeout performance. Lancaster, a difficult team to strike out, but I'll tell you what, nobody's more determined mentally when they go out on the mound than Mark Lambert.
2-2 the count. One away. Edwards down at second. Foul ball right back here into the screen. And the count stays at 2-2. For Lancaster, B.J. Johnson, Robbie Reed, Aaron Curenton. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters are due up in the top of the 7th. They'll have to scratch at least 3, or we're going to Friday night. 2-2 count to Barnes, or rather Peterson. Barnes, the pitcher. That little number off the end of the bat hit over to first baseman. And wouldn't you know it, I forgot his name. Richie Ballard. He makes the play, but Reed Edwards moves over to third now with 2 out. Those things happen once in a while.
Well, Todd Siegler's going to be the batter. Todd 0 for 2 tonight, but he drew a walk in the 5th inning, last inning, and was stranded at third base.
Those wild pitches have been big trouble. And right here, another one would be a big hole for Lancaster to dig out of. If we make it to Friday, we'll be right back here, same time, air time of 7:20, game time of 7:30. In fact, we may talk Emil into a few extra minutes before that one to kind of set things up for you. The wind, the delivery, called strike, 0-1.
And for everyone listening, if you come on out to the ballpark, that means you won't have to listen to us. Even more incentive.
0-1 the count. Barnes ready to go. Here's the delivery. Called strike 2 right across the knees. 0-2. Edwards down at third. In big risk of being stranded there now. Oh, 0-2 the count. And the delivery on the way. Popped up. That should do it. Ballard coming over. Now Barnes coming over. And he makes the grab just in foul territory. So it's down to the final 3 outs for Lancaster, or we're going to game 3 on Friday night. Our score, Lawrence 9, Lancaster 6, back to the top of the 7th after this 60-second timeout.